You are listening to the Disney Dream Girls, an unofficial Disney Theme Parks podcast, and this is show number 457 for Sunday, the 4th of June, 2023.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to this week's Disney Dream Girls. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my jolly good chum, Jane Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Janie.
Hello there, Michelle, and how are we this fine week? Have you been enjoying your week off work?
Yeah, I imagine I have. I've had a very long list of things to do and I've achieved none of it. But I've had a nice week. I took Joseph out on the steam train, which he really enjoyed, and got up with some cleaning. We managed to meet up in personage, didn't we?
We did indeed. We had a very jolly old time sat in my back garden in the sunshine.
We managed to record a little bit of a special Patreon show, which I have had feedback from Patreon saying they found it very funny and entertaining.
Yeah, I think we should record in person more often, Michelle. I think, we had a good discussion, shall we say.
Yes, so if you want to find out about Michelle's relationship advice on how Disney couples stay together, and a little bit more about Jane's cruise, and 101 other tangents that we went on, you can find it at patreon.com/Disney Dream Girls. And, a few dollars a month will enable you to get not just only the podcast a little bit earlier than anywhere else, but you can get access to past shows as well. And there's like over 200, and some of them are brand new and unique just for supporters.
And I think we had a little bit of heat stroke. I think it was two British girls sat out in the sunshine, and I think the heat might have gone to our heads a little bit with that one.
Well, it was that strange spherical orb in the sky that made us go a little bit do lally tap, because it was like sunshine. Yay, party.
Yeah, it lasted 3 days, and I've had grey skies since then. But hey ho.
I know, I must admit, I'm starting with a bit of a sniffly thing at the moment, Janie.
No.
I know, it's not good, it's not what I want, so do one please, I want my sunshine back.
Yeah, I must admit, as of the day of recording this, I woke up this morning and my central heating had decided to come on. That's how cold it had got in my house, which is ridiculous when we're talking June.
Wow. Well, fingers crossed by the time this is coming over your airwaves, guys, we will be happier because the sun will be back in our skies. But let's bring some internal happiness by chatting some Disney. First things first, Jane, let's have a little bit of a chat and check in with regards to upcoming vacations.
Oh, okay.
I am today, as of recording on the 1st of June, 80 days away from getting on the Princess ship Discovery Princess, and I'm going on a cruise to Alaska.
Chilly, Alaska. Is it chilly that time? I don't know what the weather would be like, Michelle.
I think it's all seasons in one day, because you could have rain, it could be nice, it could be windy. So yeah, it's a bit of everything. But I'm not going for the weather.
No.
I'm going to go and explore and see wonderful animals and glaciers and eat and drink and have a jolly good time on the Discovery Princess as we sail up from Seattle all the way up north around Alaska, and I'm so excited for it.
Yeah, I can imagine it's a spectacular part of the country to actually go and visit. I would expect lots of spectacular scenery shots, Michelle, by the time you've come back.
Absolutely, and the best thing is I'll be able to share quite a lot of that with our listeners because I get free Wi-Fi on the package I have plumped for.
Oh, very nice.
So I'm very excited about being able to share things. And another thing is with us going on Princess, and we did a Princess cruise during COVID where we literally got on the ship and didn't get off the ship until it was time to go home. They have this amazing app where you can test things out. It's really good fun. Right, I want a drink. Okay, that's the drink I want. And the drink I chose mostly was a frozen mango margarita. And they find you via the RFID chip they give you as part of your lanyard when you board the ship. So you can literally be running around the ship and crew members will be running after you with this mango margarita.
You could play a really cruel game, couldn't you?
I don't think I will.
You're like hide and seek.
Yeah, but why would I want to hide away from a mango margarita, Jane?
Well, no, true, but it might be funny.
True. Although last time they did manage to track me down walking around the buffet area.
I'm not quite sure that's a good look or not, really, is it?
Ah, well, I ordered a Long Island iced tea to see if it worked, and I was wandering round going to get a nice healthy salad, as you do on holiday, and hey presto, man behind me said, Miss Young, your drink. And I was like, yay. So I'm very excited. 80 days. So that means, you know me, Jane, I can't just do a cruise.
No, of course you can't.
So I've built in a bit of Disney time before that.
Of course.
Of course, as you do. So I've got 4 days in Anaheim. I think how it's working at the moment is we'll land on the Saturday. So Saturday is going to be, let's get to In-N-Out Burger ASAP. And then Sunday's probably going to be a theme park day. I think Monday might be a chillax day and try and arrange to do some meetups with some people from that part of the world that, you know, have been messaging saying, oh, I can't wait to see you again. Then Tuesday's probably back in the parks, and I'm going to try and keep my park days as park days because the husband hasn't been back to Disneyland since, I want to say, Christmas of 2018.
Wow, so he needs to get back in there and see what's what then, doesn't he?
Yeah, now I know he's been to Walt Disney World in August of 2019 because he had to be there because we got married.
Oh yeah, it would have been rude for him not to have been there.
It would have been really weird marrying myself.
I'm sure it's possible nowadays.
Oh, absolutely. So he's not seen Galaxy's Edge.
Of course.
Because when we was there in 2019, it was just starting with cast member previews and we couldn't even get into the land to walk around. So for Disneyland, there's a fair long list of things that we want to hit and do. And for him, he wants to probably spend a good chunk of time exploring Galaxy's Edge, being able to go on the attractions, being able to go into eat some of the food and look in the shops and take some amazing pictures. So I think we're going to be a little bit sort of selfish, if you can say that, by sort of saying when we're in the parks, it's going to be mad panic, this attraction, this attraction, this attraction, this attraction. Whereas on the other 2 days, we might have some more chillax time and be at Downtown Disney and be able to sit and have a nice meal with people and whatever, rather than just running around a theme park like lunatics.
Yeah, well, it's trying to get the best of both worlds, isn't it? Because obviously, say, with him not having been there for a fair few years, it will be a bit of a military operation to get around all the things that you want to get around. Whereas having a couple of other chill out days, at least then you can do your catch ups and just take, you know, some weight off your feet for a bit.
Yeah. I have already started making the list of all the attractions that are at Disneyland that are not at Walt Disney World.
Of course, yes.
So yeah, we're going to do that for 4 days. Then we're going to go over to Santa Monica for I think a couple of days. Then we're flying up to Seattle. Curious coincidence, Jane. The hotel in Seattle is a 2-minute walk to Pike Place.
Ooh.
And what do you think I'll be doing at Pike Place?
Oh, I can't think, Michelle. It wouldn't be anything to do with coffee by any chance, would it?
It will. I will be making a visit to the mothership of Starbucks, which will be so exciting.
Like a pilgrimage for you, won't it?
It is. It is. I'm very excited, but I do also gather from watching a lot of the other blogs and vlogs and things at the moment about Seattle that there are a lot of little independent coffee houses with amazing food.
Oh.
So if anyone's from the Seattle area and would like to recommend some must-do snacks or eateries or things that we could do, because so far I think we've only got the Space Needle on our list.
There you go. Give Michelle some ideas.
Yeah, and then obviously we go up on the cruise. So yay.
Yeah.
And your countdown's getting smaller as well.
Yeah, 93 days for me.
So literally,
as of recording,
I get back and you go.
Yeah, a couple of weeks and that'll be it sort of thing, won't it?
That's going to be amazing. You are just going to absolutely love the Disney Dream, Jane, because Simon will love how beautiful it is.
Yeah, well, I think we're, having chats with you at the weekend, it's that element of, for us, this is our first cruise ever. And we're probably spoiling ourselves in that respect by going on a Disney cruise. And we're kind of going in with the attitude of, because we don't really know what to expect, we're kind of going very chilled and going to kind of take the time, that we're there as it comes. I'm going to excuse the pun, we're going to go with the flow, and yeah, just try and experience it all. I'm kind of intrigued if there's any like tours around the ship. I think that's more Simon and I's kind of thing. We'll definitely be partaking of the gym and possibly the spa. I would think so. Yeah, we're kind of really starting to look forward to it. And there's a few days from when we're recording this that I will be able to start booking any little port excursions that we fancy. Although I think we're going to be quite fortunate in that we will be able to like get off the ship and explore kind of on our own, or we may have some free shuttles to take us to those points of interest. So it may be more of a Jane and Simon tour rather than jumping on any Disney expensive tour.
And as I said to the hubster, because we've been doing some research on going on a longer Princess cruise, because traditionally Princess tends to have the reputation for being a little bit more for the older market. And even though I probably fit in that age demographic, my mind does not think I am in that age demographic, and I certainly don't act, dress or look at that age demographic either.
I'm with you there, my dear.
So I will not be playing any shuffleboard. And we've been looking at some of the things you can do on board, and it's like, no, not for us. No, not for us. No, not for us. But there are things that we could do on board, and I think you'll find the same, that there's so many different offerings. There's always something that you think, this is for us. You know, maybe even the Disney quizzes in your respect. For us, just sitting down, going in our favourite cocktail bar and having to try out some of the cocktails, because it's quite a novelty for us, because we've got this alcohol package. We're British, we've got to make use of it.
Well, yeah, not only are you British, you're also Yorkshire, Michelle, so, you know.
I know, and it's like doubly cursed. Anyway, that's the plans of our holidays, so please get in touch with Jane for any top tips for the Disney Dream, and particularly going over to the sort of like Norwegian part of the world, over there in Europe. For me, anything for Seattle, please. I'd be really excited to hear from you about that. So, Jane, this week we have had info overload on so many things that have happened, and one of them we sadly lamented. We've already had the closure of Splash Mountain in Walt Disney World. Now we've had the closure in Disneyland.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw, there was a picture. This just goes to show how big a Disney fan this man must be. Tony Baxter was in Disneyland on the last day, and he had these two little vials with a cork stopper, and it had clear liquid in. I wonder what they were.
Oh, well, it must be quite melancholic for him, you know, to see something like that closing.
Something he'd worked on, sweated blood, sweat and tears into, and worried about elements and this and that and the other for it to go away.
Yeah.
It must be quite difficult and challenging, because we know as fans, for those of us who love the attraction, it is sad. And yes, the ride system is going to be there, but the details of what actually is going to be there are quite scant, and we all know from past incarnations, i.e. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, that the imagery that you're given doesn't always match the outcome.
No, and I think this is it. I mean, we all know that, you know, a majority of roller coaster type rides are, you know, I won't say off the shelf as such, but, you know, the bones of that track is going to have to stay the same. It's the decorating, it's the theming, it's the animatronics or lack of that make these rides. And, you know, for something like Splash Mountain, it's a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
Because it's a very much loved, and, you know, whilst we can perhaps appreciate what they're trying to do by moving away and onto a different IP, I do think the vast majority of us recognised the essence behind Splash Mountain and recognised where it was coming from, and didn't actually get too worked up about the tie-in, shall we say. We could accept where it stood in time.
And I know that when the news came out that my beloved Tower of Terror in Disneyland was going to be changed over to Guardians of the Galaxy, I was mortified, like many a Disney fan. But now that attraction wows me. It's such an amazing one that you would never believe it ever was anything else because of the amazing theming and storyline. And it was, so we shall wait and see what happens.
I think this is where, that anticipation kind of kicks in, and it's like, as you say, we get presented with imagery, and it's like we can only hope that the end result matches what we've been promised, and that they could at least provide us with something as good as, if not better than what was there before.
Well, as long as there's beignets, I'll be there. So, Jane.
Yes, Michelle.
June is Pride Month.
It is, yes.
And Disney are celebrating with merchandise and food aplenty. And oh my word, there is the most amazing, I don't know how you could sort of word it, plethora of food with every single element of the rainbow flag brought into it across Walt Disney World and Disneyland. And not only does it make the food look absolutely colourful and vibrant, it's showing support for each other.
Yeah.
And we, my family is very rainbow. And, for me, being able to show my support because I know the battles that my children have faced, it's really particularly special that a big organisation like Disney take it, embrace it, and do such amazing things with it. And it might only be a Mickey bar covered in different coloured icing, but it's good. A couple of top tips from me. I will be heading to the Pineapple Lanai, if I were you and if I were there, for a Pride float, which is a vanilla, pink and blue soft serve float representing the transgender flag colours with pineapple Fanta topped with sprinkles and a white chocolate decor.
Ooh.
Lots of different takes on this. We've got cupcakes with little chocolate discs with the rainbow colours on. We've got multicoloured cakes with all the colours on, and wow, some of them are just absolutely fantastic. You've got your classic Mickey ear hat cake. Instead of it having black ears, it's obviously got the Pride colours on it, and you can pick up something everywhere. Even a Woody's lunchbox. There's a special made over Pride lunchbox tart, and it's that classic guava filled pastry, and it just looks so celebratory and colourful. It's fab. We have some alcoholic beverages as well, a colour changing cocktail, believe it or not.
Ooh, fancy.
Which is very nice. And it doesn't stop in Walt Disney World. Oh, no, because you can have it at Disney Springs and at Disneyland itself, Jolly Holiday Bakery. I've got a very special Mickey-shaped macaron, which looks good. There's cookies, there's cake. Oh, my word, is there cake? And, oh, my word, there's so much to look at. But the best thing for me is got to be the Pride Mickey head balloon popcorn bucket. I so must have that. I don't know how I'm going to get it because I don't intend to be in the parks in June. But, yeah, it looks so cool.
I can see a wall now full of different coloured Mickey popcorn buckets.
I wish I had that many, my love. I wish. But if you're going to be going to the parks during June, please keep an eye out for some of these special things and post them to us on our Disney Dream Girls podcast family, because we'd love to see you enjoying these treats. Let's just hope that it's not just Instagram fodder, but they taste delicious too.
I would imagine they do.
Now, I mentioned about it being Pride Month. Towards the end of May, I was made aware of someone I'm going to say, you're the cast member of the month.
Right.
I want to give a massive shout out to Frank over at Disneyland for being fabulously themselves, being part of the cast member fairy godmother squad that bibbidi-bobbidi boutique and create magic for youngsters. And Frank was videoed by somebody called Courtney Faber, and her TikTok has literally gone viral. I'm not kidding. I think last time I looked, it was like nearly 8 million people had watched it, because beautiful makeup, beautiful dress, moustache on their face, and Courtney said, do you know what? Frank looked after my children in the most amazing way. Well done, Disney. But you know what? I think the parks might be getting a little bit emptier, Jane, because so many people have said they're so unhappy at Disney, they won't be going again.
a slightly contentious issue, isn't it, to a certain degree? Whether we want to get into this whole conversation or not, I don't know. But I think there is an element that parents, particularly perhaps, haven't got the trust in Disney that they once had, perhaps, I don't know. And I think there's been lots of changes to, characters and one thing and another over various different things. I think it's kind of, for some people, it's eroding what their perception of Disney is all about, and it's having a knock-on effect. We could get into the whole where the share price is at the moment and goodness knows what else, but potentially causing some division.
All I will say is that for me, this is my opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, and I'm not going to fall out with you if you've got a different opinion to me, because we're all entitled to think differently.
Absolutely, and that's how it should be. In the world in general at the moment, I think, unfortunately, there is a particular way that's being put out there that we have to go along a certain route, and that route and only that route is the right route, and people who have an opposing view aren't allowed to have their view. I could sit here and say one thing and you not agree with it, and you say something and I don't agree with it, but that's fine, because we all have that ability to have our right to free speech and to express that and accept what we want to be able to view and see and experience. And some things aren't for everybody, and we have to accept that. I like dark chocolate, you may like white chocolate.
I'm sorry, Jade, I draw the line at some things, and liking white chocolate is one of them. You've gone a step too far for me now, lady, so let's just move on out and talk dining plan before steam comes from my ears, because lady, we ain't talking white chocolate.
Well, I have to put up with it in this house because Ethan, it's his favourite, so,
Dining plan, Jane.
Dining plan. Coming back next year, isn't it?
It is indeed, but it's different.
Oh, go on then. How is it different?
I remember the last time I used the dining plan, and I mean the proper dining plan, not the credit card version or whatever.
Yes.
Where you booked your hotel.
Yeah.
And dependent on the hotel sort of grade, whether it was value, moderate or deluxe, depended on what level of dining plan that you got. We've both used it before, correct?
Yes, definitely.
So that used to come with the price you paid for the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
The new version does not. The new version is a financial add-in that you may wish to put on top of your hotel cost.
Mm-hmm.
So I did some maths, Jane, because I wanted to see it would actually work for me or not.
Yeah.
So we have two levels of dining plan. You have the Disney quick service dining plan.
Mm-hmm.
You have this for guests aged 3 and over. Every night of your stay, 2 quick service meals, 1 either non-alcoholic or alcoholic, 1 selected snack or drink, and 1 resort fillable mug.
Yeah.
That's per day. And you don't have to use this in a day. If you wanted to roll it over and have a 3 quick service day the next day, or use all your snacks in one day, it's workable as long as it's within that reservation period.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the Disney dining plan, and this is a quick service, a table service, non-alcoholic or alcoholic drink per meal, a selected snack or drink, and again the resort mug.
Mm-hmm.
That's all very well and good.
Mm.
Let's see it work in practice.
Okay.
So I am going to imagine we're going to spend the day at Animal Kingdom.
Right.
And I'm going to see how I can make the dining plan get value so that what I actually put down for it actually works in my favour.
Yeah.
Because that's how my brain works. If I'm going to be paying X amount of money for a dining plan, I want to know that I'm actually going to be taking money off Disney's hands.
Yes, because otherwise, why would you? Yeah.
Yeah, so I thought I'd go to Satuli Canteen. I'll have a combination bowl, which is chicken and beef, nice salad. I can choose the base, choose the dressing, $17.49.
Okay.
While I'm there, I am going to have, in your honour, a margarita.
Ooh.
And that is $13.50.
Thank you.
So that is my 1 quick service meal done there. Maybe a bit later on I might be a bit hungry, so I thought, I'll pop into the 8 Spoon Cafe and have a pulled pork jelly donut sandwich.
Ooh.
$6.99. It was one of the most expensive ones I could find because you get a snack or drink a day.
Yeah.
Then I thought, evening meal. Let's see if I can really find the most expensive quick serve meal in the whole of Animal Kingdom. And I came up with Flame Tree Barbecue, ribs, chicken and pulled pork sampler. $18.99.
Okay.
And then I thought, I need a beverage with that because I get one free.
Yeah.
So I have gone with a rotten apple drink. And this comes with a red glow cube. And it is that hard cider Fireball cinnamon whiskey over ice with gummy worms. And that's $16.50.
Wow, yeah.
I do get the resort fillable mug. I haven't included that. But all of that food comes to $73.47.
Yeah.
So I spent $73.47, or should I say Disney has paid for $73.47.
Yeah.
It would have cost me in US dollars $59.61 for the plan. Now that's converting it from how much we get charged in the UK.
Okay.
I appreciate in the US the charge might be slightly different and this rate may go up or down. But that to me means I have socked it to Disney for $14.
Right, okay.
But what if I don't drink alcohol?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be getting a soda?
That's going to knock that price down a bit, isn't it?
Absolutely. What if I don't want to have half a plate full of meat or a really large, big, massive chicken dish? So you've got to think on the quick service plan, is this going to be worthwhile for me? Now, for some people, the idea of paying for your trip and having all of that worry about the majority of their food and snacks taken away from them, then it's great. Because if you're a budgeter, that will work brilliantly for you. For me, I'd be sort of thinking, well, I don't really like having a whole counter service meal because for me, I'd prefer to have lots of little snacks during the day and I tend to go somewhere like Flame Tree Barbecue. I only want the pulled pork element. I don't want all the sides. I don't want the drink. So for me, that would not work. But I imagine for a lot of people, it would be a lot of fun putting together all these combos on a good old Excel spreadsheet to sort of say, yeah, I'm going to sock it to Disney.
Yeah, I think this is what we've always said, even, old school dining plan. It was still that element of look at what the cost is per day and can you get food for that amount or better? Because otherwise, is it worth it? And like you said, Michelle, unless you're actually wanting to pay for it up front and know that you're not going to be hit with that credit card bill after the end of your holiday, and it's like, how much did we spend on food, and see it in black and white and go, oh my goodness, what did we spend? We've been very fortunate over here in the UK that I think every time that I've partaked of the dining plan, it has been, in air quotes, a free dining plan with the vacation package. So in some respects, because that's kind of tagged onto your holiday or included in your holiday price if you're buying a package deal, it's not felt as pertinent that you go out there looking to get the best value for it because you're going to have to pay it anyway. Whereas I think if you're choosing to add this onto a vacation, then you've got to make sure that you are going to be able to eat that amount per day, because otherwise, why pay for something that you're not going to actually take advantage of?
Yeah. And to further illustrate this plan, I'm thinking about the table service plan. So the table service plan is slightly different. Obviously, it's a little bit more money, but you get a quick serve, a table serve, a non-alcoholic or alcoholic drink per meal. So that's 2 a day. A select snack or drink per day, and the resort mug. So I thought, right, I'm going to pretend I'm at Magic Kingdom.
Okay.
And for me, the value really isn't in the theme park, because you've also got to think about some of the table service places are not 1 credit. They are 2.
Yes, especially if characters are involved as well.
So if you're looking at the menus and it says price ranging between $15 and $34, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be 1 credit. If it's over that, going up to $60, then you can pretty much think it's going to be 2 table service credits. So I thought, well, there's nowhere in the Magic Kingdom I would want to have a table service meal because I'm not paying $2 for Cinderella's. I'm not paying $2 for Be Our Guest. So I thought I'd go to Steakhouse 71, hop, skip and a jump down to the Contemporary, not too far, and they have a 12-ounce roasted prime rib and classic Yorkshire pudding.
Ooh.
$38. And then their dessert is a chocolate cake, layers of Jack Daniel's infused chocolate cake, chocolate mousse, raspberries, contains alcohol, $11. And I'd be having a beverage, of course. I'll be going with a twisted fig, monkey shoulder blended scotch, Cointreau, fig simple syrups and orange bitters at $16.50.
Right.
So I think that's quite an expensive table service meal.
Yeah.
For my quick service, I'm probably going to stay out of the park again because I know the quality of the meals is a little bit better, and I'd be going to Gasparilla Grill for their artisanal burger, yummy, 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 which has got brisket and chuck with bacon, cheddar, lettuce, tomato, onion on a toasted brioche with fries for $14.49. And because I am out of the Magic Kingdom, because not all places can be alcoholic in the Magic Kingdom, I'd be having a Bloody Mary at $11.
Wow.
My snack will be the I Lava You strawberry Fanta float at $6.99. Now that's going to come to $97.98. If I convert the English price of paying for the day, it's $96.95.
Ooh.
And I purposefully looked for the most expensive things, Jane. Okay, you get your resort mug. Whoopie-doo. Because I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, well, table services are all well and good, but they eat a lot of time out of your park time.
Yes.
And if you're not necessarily going to be having a table service meal in the park that you're in, because you wouldn't go to the plaza and have that as a table service meal, not when it comes to like $25. So I'm sort of thinking, out of the two, I think the normal dining plan with the 2 quick service is probably a better option for me, unless you're wanting to have some of those 2 dining credits. And then I think it could work really well where you have a quick service meal and then a snack, and then another day you might go and blow 2 of the table service meals on somewhere a little bit more upmarket that you might not possibly get a chance to enjoy.
Yeah, I think as forever with these dining plans, there's so many different computations as to how you could use these. You've really got to be thinking, I know we joke about Excel spreadsheets, but there is an element here of don't just go, oh, well, it pays for itself up front and therefore I don't have to worry about it when I come back. It is a case of, are you actually going to be able to, say, eat that amount that you need to eat every single day? Or, as you've just said, Michelle, is there something special that you want to do that this might enable you to do that you perhaps wouldn't do otherwise? So I think there's lots of ways to look at this, and it depends how long you're going to be in Disney World for. And personally, when I'm a bit like you, Shell, we'd always do the quick service dining plan because that's more of our style. And then we would probably, if we wanted a sit down meal at any point, we would just use that as a treat and pay for it separately, obviously. But say you got to look at who's in your party, what sort of things they're going to want to do. If you've got kiddie winks that are more interested in your character dining, then it might be something that pays into that to get those dining credits for that purpose. There's just lots of different ways to approach it.
And you've also got to bear in mind that on those table services that you have to pay your tip.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. So that's something that will take that a little bit over and above. And yeah, for me, I'm not booking a 2024 trip. She says. Yet. I'm not. I'm waiting for Caroline. Caroline and I have got plans, and fingers crossed if we don't get there this year, we will be getting somewhere next year. So until we're able to book and do that, I'm waiting. But yeah, it's interesting food for thought, pardon the pun. But for me, it doesn't work out. But I know a lot of my friends, It does, particularly with families and those hungry eating teenagers.
Yeah, I think it's a case of for us, if we do happen to go next year, it will be a case of looking to see what's available when we come to book and whether or not we can take advantage of any, say those air quotes again, offers. I think otherwise we will probably be just sticking to, like you say, pay as you go approach.
Absolutely, my love. Well, I think we'll put a pin in that for now, and we will come back next week. If you want to share what you're up to with your Disney life right now, it could just be you're crafting for an upcoming trip. It could be you're planning and you're unsure of somewhere to eat, and you could ask our Disney Dream Girls podcast family over on their Facebook. You can also see us sharing our Disney life and trips and thoughts over on Instagram at DisDreamGirls. But until next week, it's a goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me.